สวัสดีค่ะดิฉันอัญชิถาบุญพรวงศ์นะคะขอต้อนรับทุกท่านค่ะเข้าสู่การถ่ายทอดสดพิธีปิดการประชุมรัฐสภาภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกว่าด้วยความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพระดับโลกนะคะซึ่งจัดมาอย่างต่อเนื่องตั้งแต่เมื่อวานนี้แล้วมาจนถึงวันนี้ค่ะก็จะได้เข้าสู่พิธีปิดอย่างเป็นทางการนะคะโดยได้รับเกียรติอย่างดียิ่งนะคะจากทางเลขาธิการสหภาพรัฐสภาและท่านประธานมงคลสุรสัจจะประธานวุฒิสภาเป็นประธานในพิธีปิดในวันนี้ค่ะก็จะได้ติดตามกันนะคะและในขณะนี้ที่ประชุมแห่งนี้พร้อมแล้วจะนำทุกท่านไปติดตามการถ่ายทอดสดพิธีปิดในวันนี้กันค่ะ
We have discussed on the topic regarding strengthening health systems as an essential part to achieve universal health coverage and link all these with health security and fostering the investment in public health for resilient health system. And we also discussed what are the roles of parliaments and parliamentarians in order to achieve UHC. Our group agrees that the parliaments and parliamentarians can play a pivotal role in strengthening health security preparedness, which can in turn advance health systems and UHC. The unique position of you all here as parliamentarians, you can make law, allocate fundings, and also oversee the implementation of health policies and represent the constituents to increase and or emphasize the importance of UHC to all people in your nations. To achieve UHC, I would like to browse you through the summary of what we discussed in the session, and this will be shown on the slide. We separate all the topics mentioned in the session into three main schemes or three main prongs. First is the challenges that each country ever faced during the pandemic. Second, it is about the action points that each country can proceed in order to achieve UHC. And third is about the role of parliamentarian. Okay, you can see on the slide there, over there, we have discussed that during the pandemic, each country faces several challenges. For example, the lack of vaccine, the limitation of finance, which is affected severely during the pandemic, and also the problem of social exclusion that makes many people vulnerable, especially the vulnerable becomes more vulnerable during the pandemic. And we also found that universal health coverage or UHC can be means and can be instrument to address the pandemic. And what are the needs for action? First, we agree that UHC should be fostered or should be advanced via the strengthening of primary health care. And the second point that we also mentioned is that we need clear global guidance, but that global guidance needs to be adapted or adopted in order to fit the local context. We also mentioned about the use of appropriate digital health technology, which is very important at this moment, but this technology must serve the vulnerable population. And we mentioned about the spirit of people participation and volunteerism as well. Intersectoral action is needed and can be part of the UHC. The key parliamentary action is that first, we need to expand social safety net for all, especially during the pandemic. And we can achieve this only by UHC. UHC can be the umbrella of many things, right? If we have UHC beforehand, when the pandemic comes, we'll be more ready. Then we need, in order to achieve UHC, we need a clear establishment of the legal framework and system. We recognize the importance of volunteerism and people participation, but all these needs a clear, effective health system. Then we need investment. We also mentioned that UHC is about health, and health is wealth. This is the investment. UHC is about investment, not just expense. And if you invest enough in UHC, in turn, this investment will bring you wealth of the nations. And we encourage the sharing of best practices across countries. Every country you can learn.
Thank you very much. We had a very good discussion pertaining to the challenges faced in healthcare infrastructure and the impact of climate change on the healthcare infrastructure of different countries. So what the conclusion that I've drawn from what we discussed was that we are divided by borders, but we are united by the same challenges. So for instance, we had issues pertaining to air quality being impacted due to climate change. We came to the conclusion that a lot of countries are having issues due to burning of harvest post-agriculture, and then that is basically giving further issues relating to health. People are having healthcare related issues, and so we need to invest on the healthcare infrastructure. We need to improve the public transportation system. So rather than relying only on the cars and the motorbikes, if we can invest on public infrastructure, that would improve the air quality and that would have a better impact on the health of the individuals living in different cities. We also had a discussion pertaining to the legislative work done pertaining to climate change. So different countries had different challenges. Pakistan, for instance, had a lot of legislation done pertaining to the smog or the air quality issues that we are having. And we have come up with like a long-term plan to fix it by regulating the agriculture sector, by regulating the motor vehicle sector and encouraging electric vehicles. And similarly, other countries, we have also learned that the harvest that is being done by, for instance, Thailand, they are also having similar challenges also. Reforestation was something that we have discussed. That is also can be used to address the issues relating to climate change. Retention dams was something that we also discussed. Management of the garbage was something that we also discussed. And the public awareness and training is also something that is very important if we want to educate the masses about the issues that we are having in the global health security system. It will help us and it will help them also. So this is in a nutshell what we concluded. That include, we need to take actions pertaining to climate related issues, especially in the healthcare infrastructure, data sharing on climate related health challenges, and abandon the sliced approach to addressing climate change and health. So these were the main actions, and we have had a lot of discussion, and I've just highlighted some of them, some of the points that we discussed. I think if we work together to understand the challenges that we are facing, we can then help each other and move forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to you, Dr. Khan, wrapping things up there for us, the outcome of the discussions in the climate change discussion. We'll move right along. In the interest of time, we'll now get the conclusion from the Tech and Innovation Talks. I'd like to invite Dr. Prapat Wanit Pongpan with the Siriraj School of Medicine, Mahidol University, to kindly take over the podium here. Please.
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator, and hello everyone. Esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to present the idea and discussion of the Group C, which focus on technology and innovation. I believe everyone knows that AI technology helps us a lot in strengthening the healthcare system in many aspects, including the public communication, the large-scale surveillance, and also the prediction once the outbreak occurs. But AI has also some risk as well. So our group would like to ask for the acknowledgement for each and country in the region to acknowledge the risk of using all the technology and some challenges. The risk of the AI include the false information, the bias that the AI and technology can present to the social, and also it could violate the privacy and autonomy. So the needs for action, we would like the government, the parliament of each and every country to acknowledge the disparity about affordability, about the accessibility, about the literacy of the people from one country to the other, from one community to the other, from urban area to the rural area. There are a large scale, wide variety of the disparity. So we need everyone to acknowledge that, and we need an action of the parliament member to tackle all those problems. And the second thing is about the ethical consideration that governance of the AI, especially when we would like to use the AI, the learning process of the AI should be in a transparent way. It should governed by the good people so that the AI can learn in the correct way and aim for the human safety purpose. And then when we would like to spread out all those information, there should be some organization that, work for the accuracy of the information and how they can tackle against all those misinformation, false information by the rules and regulation of each and every country. So lastly, I believe we have, not last, the key discussion is about the advanced collaboration with the information provider. So they should do it in a decent way. I believe, I know that this is very difficult to control, but with the collaboration, with the good rules and regulation, we can do it. We can provide accurate information to the public so that it can strengthen the healthcare system eventually. And the regional collaboration around the application, around the learning, to use all those applications, how to develop the application, to use all those applications to connect with the country in the region. And also, lastly, the key parliamentary action, we would like to see each and every country review rules and regulation, the laws, which one is outdated, which one do not support the current activity. We should discuss them. Some legislation that is okay, we can improve, or we might need some new legislation that can support the use of the advanced technology in the future to strengthen the healthcare system. That's what we want to see. And also we need a research across the country that how can we update the technology, how we can utilize all those technology in the most beneficial way that can strengthen the healthcare system of each and every country and the region. During the discussion, I believe that I could miss some ideas. So the member of the Group C, if you can, I'm not sure where you are, you can add something that I have missed. It would be very nice if you can. I don't see any hands upright. So I guess that's it for the presentation from the Group C. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to Dr. Prapat, and actually thank you so much to all the moderators. Thank you very much to all MPs, participants who spoke out, who shared their experiences and, voiced out your concerns, your challenges and everything, because this is really important in the way forward. Thank you once again. And with that, we're going to transition to the closing part of our conference, A Shared Vision for Strengthening Pandemic Preparedness in Asia Pacific. And we'll start that with the outcome document. So I would like to invite the rapporteur, Dr. Galayapat Ratirod, member of the House of Representatives of Thailand, please, to join us in front and please let us know of the 1.5 days, an overview of that and that outcome document. Thank you.
Honorable parliamentarians, esteemed colleagues, distinguished guests, as the rapporteur of the original conference for parliaments of the Asia-Pacific region on global health security, it is my privilege to present the key highlights of our deliberations. This timely conference brought us together to tackle one of the most pressing challenges of our time, safeguarding our populations against health emergencies. Our region is confronted with a range of health hazards, including infectious diseases, antimicrobial resistance, and natural disasters. Over the past 2 days, we have been able to discuss some of the critical challenges and opportunities and to identify concrete actions that we can take in our parliament. Let me highlight 5 points. The first one is that we must adopt a multi-hazard approach. We can work with our ministries to identify how we can support the implementation of health emergency, preparedness, and response plans. It is also our responsibility to include an equity and human rights lens in our debates at national, regional, and international level. Secondly, we should be active in pursuing information and increase our knowledge on global health security developments, especially in relation to the International Health Regulations, or IHR, and the Pandemic Accord that's going to happen next year. We can advocate in our parliamentary committees to examine core capacities and compliance with the international health regulations and promote mainstreaming of health security in our relevant policies and laws. Third, there are a number of steps we can take to fully leverage our parliamentary functions, from advocating for adequate financing for implementation of the international health regulations, and eventually the Pandemic Accord, to engaging in legal mapping and review. Accountability and oversight are of critical importance to ensure appropriate plans exist and are put in place. There are some tools at our disposal to support these efforts, such as the IPU, WHO handbook, and online courses. My fourth point, still the most important thing of all, is about people. Engaging and collaborating with communities, in particular population groups facing social, cultural, or economic barriers in accessing health services, is fundamental for trust building and for designing health security preparedness and response measures that adequately respond to their needs and rights. As parliamentarians, we can and should lead by example and promote access to consistent and trusted source of information. Finally, just today, our breakout groups this morning have illustrated how health emergencies have impact beyond the health sector. We need inclusive stakeholder mechanisms and multi-sectoral action. In the area of universal health coverage, it is imperative to strengthen health systems, including health infrastructures and training of health workers. Building regional and national health security systems requires a long-term vision and committed political leadership for precise direction and sustainable financing. Climate change is closely intertwined with health security. The climate crisis is a health crisis, and a siloed approach to addressing climate change and health needs to be abandoned. We can play an important role by promoting a One Health approach and by reviewing health emergency preparedness and response plans and laws to ensure climate-related risks are included. And lastly, leveraging technology is also critical, but we must make sure that our policies and laws promote the responsible and equitable use of technology and innovation. Regarding misinformation and disinformation, we can also take steps to enhance digital literacy, especially of vulnerable and marginalized population. I wish to thank you all for your active participation these past 2 days and commitment. The outcomes of our deliberations will be brought to attention to the 150th IPU Assembly next year. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much to you, Dr. Kalayapat, for the presentation of the outcome document. And before we delve into the closing remarks, I'm going to put up a QR code on the screen. If you could kindly bring out your phones and scan the QR code, and this QR code is going to take you to the online evaluation survey. Now, this is very, very important. If you could please take the time to fill out this short online evaluation survey, please, and I'll give you a bit of time to do that, as your experience here with us, 1.5 days, if you can reflect on that. What was convenient? What did you enjoy about it? Or what can be improved? Please let us know, because we hope to organize more flat platforms such as these for us to meet, to discuss the way forward. All right, so we want to improve the conference experience for you each time we do get together, wherever it may be. So once again, that QR code, please kindly scan, and please share with us your conference experience. Now, we will also offer you the chance to speak up, speak out. If you do want to reflect on your conference experience, you can just raise your hand or just switch on your mic and let us know as well. We're offering you that opportunity as we allow time for everybody just to scan that and fill that in for us. Or perhaps maybe a bit of time here. What actions are you very eager to take as you absorb, digest all the information from yesterday and today's discussion as well? What sort of actions are you really keen on taking when you head back home? So just allowing you a couple of minutes here to reflect. If you would like to speak out loud, we welcome you. Please raise your hand or just turn on your mic and let us know. If not, I'll just keep quiet for a couple more minutes and allow you the time to fill in that evaluation survey. Thank you. All right, thank you so much for kindly taking the time and filling in that evaluation survey. We will now move right ahead to hear the closing remarks. First, I would like to invite Mr. Martin Chungong, the IPU Secretary General, to be first to take to the stage to please deliver your closing remarks. Let's extend him a warm welcome as he makes his way to the stage. Mr. Martin Chungong, IPU Secretary General.
Thank you very much for that introduction once again. Your Excellency, the President of the Senate of the Kingdom of Thailand, honorable members of Parliament present here, distinguished guests, dear partners from WHO and other agencies present here. It gives me great pleasure to say a few words at the close of this regional conference. Before I deliver my concluding remarks, I would like to invite all of us to observe a moment of silence in memory of somebody who would have been here today with us. He had been scheduled to participate as an eminent expert at this conference. Unfortunately, 1 week ago, a little over 1 week ago, he passed away suddenly. I am referring to Dr. Faustin Ndungugile from Tanzania. He was recently elected to take up the job of Regional Director for Africa for WHO, and he would have, I believe, assumed office in February next year. He was an eminent member of the IPU and for several years led our health-related work with brio. He was also an outstanding member of parliament in his own country and Minister of Health, and he made immense contributions to the development of health, not only in Africa, but the rest of the world. So it is with sadness that I ask us to observe a few moments of silence. He is being laid to rest today in his home country, Tanzania. So just let us observe a moment of silence in his memory. Thank you. We are concluding 2 days of conversation on something that is very dear to our hearts. I believe this is what transpired through the conversations that we have had here, the need for us to focus more on health, emergency preparedness, and response. And this is in light of the recurrent health crisis that we are facing in the world today. And I believe we are united in our common resolve to, as the parliamentary community, rise to the challenge of addressing this crisis. I would like to use this opportunity to congratulate and commend our gracious host, represented here in particular by His Excellency, the President of the Senate of the Kingdom of Thailand. We want to thank you, sir, and all those who have worked under your leadership to put together this important gathering for health in Southeast Asia. We are very grateful that as members of the IPU, you are able to afford us the facilities and platform for us to reflect on something that is very crucial to the well-being of the people. I want to also extend once again my thanks to our partners in the World Health Organization, without whom we would not have had such very interesting and useful discussions here, given the fact that they do have the knowledge, they do have the expertise and experience, and combined with the political capacity of parliamentarians, we are in good stead to promote global health security in a very efficient manner. I have understood that this conference underscores the responsibility felt across the Southeast Asia region and the Pacific in particular to confront health risks with urgency. Your presence here reflects a commitment to take decisive action before the next outbreak, or worse still, before the next pandemic hits us. And during the discussions, we've had time and again reference to one key word, leadership. And as the Brunei delegate said, effective leadership for resilience. It is something that resonates very well with us and the parliamentary community because we believe that parliaments and parliamentarians should be leading from the front when it comes to the campaign to promote better global health security outcomes. You can be leaders, you parliamentarians, legislators can be leaders in your parliaments by raising questions and advocating for health security to remain high on the political agendas. And I think I had that in the report coming out of the Group A this morning. And you can be leaders in your communities by ensuring all voices are heard before and during health emergencies. We also have had reference to political will. Political will is required to turn commitments into actions and to allocate resources that are necessary for us to implement the agreements and other undertakings at the international level. Political will means working across party lines, working with the executive branch towards a common objective of building resilience and protecting populations. I also want to underscore the need for cooperation, which starts from within Parliament. But it is essential to foster dialogue and meaningful engagement of all stakeholders. And I believe that is why we're here today, the parliamentary community, together with the scientific and technical partners, in order for us to have a multi-stakeholder approach. Cooperation also needs to take place at different levels, and parliaments have a key role to play internationally, as we see with the current negotiations for the pandemic treaty. We want to make sure that parliaments are present internationally in order to take ownership of regional and global strategies, while these strategies are informed by the views of the people and expertise. We did hear very good things here, but we also heard that it was important for us to address the multiplicity of challenges facing us today as a global community. I heard a moment ago the rapporteur from Group B refer to the need for a multi-hazard approach. I think it is important for us to address the complexity of current crisis. We did hear the need to address the health-climate nexus, and I go back to what the IPU did recently with the just concluded COP29 conference in Baku. There, the concern was expressed that climate change was spreading rapidly, the crisis was becoming increasingly urgent, and it was important for us in identifying solutions to also apply our minds to how we can achieve stronger and more resilient health systems. And in this regard, we need equity to be the central theme of all action on health emergency preparedness, and response at all levels. We need integrated policies and legislation so that we can tackle common determinants and drivers of crisis, but above all, we need strong parliaments. Earlier this morning, we had the report from, I think, Group C, which referred to what some people might consider the elephant in the room, the emergence of new technologies, in particular AI. And I am reassured by the insistence of that group on the need for us to adopt a strategy that encourages transparent, responsible, and ethical use of AI, because it has the potential to improve our lives, especially in the area of health, but also it has that potential to disrupt our lives. That is why, as members of parliament, it is in your interest to devise and implement regulatory frameworks that improve on the use of AI for the benefit of your citizens and minimize the risks involved. I hope, therefore, that this conference has given you the knowledge and tools to be true champions of global health security. As I mention these words, I am reminded of the tools that have been developed internationally, especially the revised international health regulations and the soon to be concluded pandemic treaty. I want to record the IPU's continued support for these two instruments, which I think have the potential to improve upon the health of all citizens. So I do encourage you as legislators to lend your support to your governments as they negotiate the impending pandemic treaty. And I do hope that you will be in better stead after this conference to cause ratification of that key international instrument, and most importantly, to put in place a strategy for its implementation. As far as the IPU is concerned, we just want to reassure you and restate our commitment to work with you. We have heard the outcome document, the outcome of your session, and we don't want it to just be a piece of paper, a sheet of paper that will gather dust in our drawers. The rapporteur did say that that outcome document would be tabled before the 150th Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union next year in in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. And we hope that together with our colleagues in WHO, we can put in place a mechanism, a strategy for helping parliaments implement those commitments that you have undertaken today. As I conclude, I want to thank some special people. Mr. President, yesterday you showed me this wonderful application you have for translating from English into Thai, understanding, and I was very impressed by that application. But also during this couple of days, we have also had the human component of that application. I'm referring to those who are sitting in the glass boxes behind there, helping us break down the language barrier. I want to pay special thanks to you. I think that our conversation has taken place seamlessly as a result of the linguistic aptitudes of those in the interpreters. But I also want to pay tribute to a special person who's sitting here. Let me pronounce your name correctly. Pachari Ratsawong. Is that correct? Our very distinguished and outstanding moderator. I must say that we have worked with moderators in various capacities, but this time I was taken in by the dexterity of Pachari when it comes to breaking down the technical language that we were speaking in here into language that all of us can understand. And I thank you very much for driving us in a certain direction. Thank you. Of course, we would not have been here were it not for you participants. Let me also thank you for finding the time to come here to have this conversation. I think that we can go home satisfied. My colleagues in IPU and WHO, where are they? IPU, WHO. I think we can all go home satisfied that we have achieved something. When we design activities such as this one, we can only imagine what the outcome would be. But being present here, experiencing the discussions that have taken place, I can say that we have achieved part of our mission. The challenge now remains how we move forward and implement the outcomes of this meeting. So thank you all, dear colleagues, for helping us put together this event. So with those, I just want to encourage you, participants, to go back home and be real champions of global health security, and I hasten to say overall champions of universal health coverage, because as Dr. Tedros always says, UHC and GBS are two sides of the same coin. Let's carry forward the spirit of cooperation and determination from this conference to be better prepared for the next pandemic, because it is not a question of if there will be a next pandemic, it is just a question of when. And it would be remiss of us not to be prepared for that next pandemic. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you so much, sincerely to you, Mr. Martin Chungon, IPU Secretary General. His words there, very powerful, very inspirational indeed.
สักครู่นี้นะคะเลขาธิการสหภาพรัฐสภาค่ะก็ได้บอกถึงว่าการประชุมครั้งนี้สะท้อนถึงความรับผิดชอบร่วมกันของภูมิภาคในการที่จะเผชิญกับความเสี่ยงด้านสุขภาพที่ต้องดำเนินการอย่างเร่งด่วนนะคะกรณีการมีส่วนร่วมก็แสดงให้เห็นถึงความมุ่งมั่นในการที่จะดำเนินการเชิงรุกก่อนที่การระบาดครั้งต่อไปจะเกิดขึ้นและยิ่งไปกว่านั้นดำเนินการในขณะที่การระบาดใหญ่ครั้งใหม่ก็ได้เกิดขึ้นแล้วนะคะและขณะนี้ค่ะก็จะได้เป็นประธานวุฒิสภานะคะท่านประธานมงคลสุรสัจจะค่ะจะได้กล่าวในพิธีปิดการประชุมรัฐสภาภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกว่าด้วยความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพระดับโลกต่อไปนะคะ
ท่านเลขาธิการสหภาพรัฐสภาท่านผู้อำนวยการองค์การอนามัยโลกประจำภูมิภาคเอเชียตะวันออกเฉียงใต้ท่านผู้แทนผู้ทรงเกียรติทุกท่านครับเพื่อนสมาชิกรัฐสภาทุกท่านครับในโอกาสที่การประชุมกำลังจะสิ้นสุดลงในนามของรัฐสภาไทยผมมีความยินดีที่ได้เห็นงานเสวนาครั้งนี้นะครับได้บรรลุผลสำเร็จสมดังวัตถุประสงค์ที่มุ่งหมายตลอดการประชุม1 วันครึ่งที่ผ่านมาซึ่งสะท้อนให้เห็นถึงความมุ่งมั่นในการสร้างความเป็นน้ำหนึ่งใจเดียวกันสร้างความร่วมมือและความเป็นหุ้นส่วนในระดับภูมิภาคผ่านการแลกเปลี่ยนองค์ความรู้ประสบการณ์และความเชี่ยวชาญเพื่อร่วมกันเสริมสร้างความพร้อมรับมือและการโต้ตอบภาวะฉุกเฉินทางด้านสาธารณสุขในบริบทของความมั่นคงทางสุขภาพซึ่งนับเป็นโอกาสอันดีที่เปี่ยมไปด้วยความหวังครับผมขอขอบคุณท่านมาร์ตินจุนกองและคณะทำงานของสหภาพรัฐสภาสำหรับความร่วมมืออันดียิ่งที่ท่านได้ร่วมกันเป็นเจ้าภาพในการจัดการประชุมครั้งสำคัญครั้งนี้ ผมขอชื่นชมบทบาทของสหภาพรัฐสภาในการนำพาสมาชิกรัฐสภาจากทั่วทั้งภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกและผู้ทรงคุณวุฒิด้านสุขภาพมาเสวนาหารือร่วมกันในประเด็นความร่วมมือด้านสาธารณสุขเป็นครั้งแรกนี่จึงเป็นเวทีที่จำเป็นอย่างยิ่งในการสนับสนุนและเพิ่มพูนขีดความสามารถให้แก่สมาชิกรัฐสภาในการมีส่วนร่วมผลักดันวาระความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพเพื่อเสริมสร้างบทบาทที่มีความหมายในการเตรียมความพร้อมด้านกฎหมายและด้านงบประมาณเพื่อรับมือกับภัยคุกคามของการแพร่ระบาดของโรคอุบัติใหม่ในประเทศของตนอย่างมีประสิทธิภาพผ่านการดำเนินการด้านนิติบัญญัติที่มุ่งเน้นผลลัพธ์ที่เป็นรูปธรรมในโอกาสเดียวกันนี้ผมขอชื่นชมองค์การอนามัยโลกครับเป็นอย่างยิ่งสำหรับการสนับสนุนอันมีค่าที่ทำให้การประชุมครั้งนี้ประสบความสำเร็จอย่างน่าชื่นชมขอได้โปรดมั่นใจว่ารัฐสภาไทยจะยังคงมุ่งมั่นอย่างแน่วแน่และต่อเนื่องในการสนับสนุนภารกิจในอนาคตของสหภาพรัฐสภาทั้งในด้านการเปลี่ยนแปลงสภาพภูมิอากาศด้านสุขภาพและเป้าหมายของการพัฒนาที่ยั่งยืนเพื่อกำหนดหนทางเบื้องหน้าให้สอดคล้องกับความต้องการของพลเมืองทุกหมู่เหล่าในทุกภาคส่วนเพื่อยกระดับการสนับสนุนทางการเมืองให้หนักแน่นยิ่งขึ้นเพื่อส่งเสริมความร่วมมือที่ครอบคลุมผู้มีส่วนได้เสียจากหลายภาคส่วนโดยระดมทุกภาคส่วนเข้ามามีส่วนร่วมและประสานพลังในการสร้างระบบสุขภาพที่เข้มแข็งและคล่องตัวในการป้องกันการระบาดใหญ่ตลอดจนการประกันการเข้าถึงสุขภาพที่มีคุณภาพอย่างเท่าเทียมและทั่วถึงสำหรับทุกคนรวมถึงผู้ด้อยโอกาสและกลุ่มเปราะบางก่อนปิดการประชุมผมขอขอบคุณคณะวิทยากรและผู้นำการอภิปรายทุกท่านครับและที่สำคัญไปกว่านั้นนะครับผมขอขอบคุณทุกท่านนะครับที่มีส่วนร่วมมีปฏิสัมพันธ์แลกเปลี่ยนกันอย่างแข็งขันจนนำไปสู่ผลลัพธ์ที่คุ้มค่าที่ผ่านความมุ่งมั่นอย่างแรงกล้าในการขับเคลื่อนประเด็นสำคัญยิ่งนี้ด้วยความร่วมมือดังกล่าวเราจะสามารถก้าวข้ามไปสู่การเป็นภูมิภาคที่มีระบบสาธารณสุขที่มีความมั่นคงยั่งยืนและเป็นธรรมเพื่อสุขภาพที่ดีและความเป็นอยู่ที่ดีของทุกคนประเทศไทยพร้อมที่จะให้การสนับสนุนอย่างแน่วแน่ต่อพันธกิจอันทรงคุณค่านี้ผมหวังว่าทุกท่านจะใช้เวลาที่เหลืออยู่ในประเทศไทยอย่างมีความสุขครับรวมถึงการเดินทางไปทัศนศึกษาดูงานในช่วงของบ่ายวันนี้นะครับและสำหรับท่านหลายๆท่านที่มีกำหนดที่จะเดินทางกลับในวันนี้ผมขอให้ท่านเดินทางกลับโดยสวัสดิภาพครับขอบคุณทุกท่านที่ทำให้การประชุมครั้งนี้ประสบผลสำเร็จตามที่พวกเราทั้งหลายได้มุ่งหวังไว้ทุกประการครับสวัสดีครับ
ขอบพระคุณเป็นอย่างสูงนะคะท่านมงคลสุรสัจจะค่ะ Thank you very much
นะคะท่านประธานมงคลสุรสัจจะประธานวุฒิสภาค่ะได้ปิดการประชุมรัฐสภาภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกว่าด้วยความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพระดับโลกนะคะโดยท่านประธานวุฒิสภาก็ได้มีการระบุนะคะว่าการประชุมครั้งนี้นับว่าเป็นโอกาสอันดีในการเสริมสร้างองค์ความรู้และพัฒนาขีดความสามารถที่จำเป็นให้แก่สมาชิกรัฐสภาในการมีส่วนร่วมขับเคลื่อนประเด็นความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพการติดตามกำกับตรวจสอบการดำเนินนโยบายของฝ่ายบริหารในการเตรียมความพร้อมด้านกฎหมายและด้านงบประมาณอย่างมีประสิทธิภาพการเตรียมความพร้อมภาครัฐสภาผ่านการดำเนินการด้านนิติบัญญัติในเชิงรุกที่มุ่งเน้นผลลัพธ์ที่เป็นรูปธรรมเพื่อวางระบบการป้องกันการระบาดใหญ่ที่เข้มแข็งและคล่องตัวค่ะการประกันการเข้าถึงการดูแลคุณภาพอย่างเท่าเทียมและทั่วถึงสำหรับทุกคนทุกกลุ่มนะคะซึ่งการประชุมครั้งนี้จะได้นำไปสู่ผลลัพธ์ที่คุ้มค่าผ่านความมุ่งมั่นอย่างแรงกล้าในการขับเคลื่อนประเด็นที่สำคัญยิ่งนี้โดยความร่วมมือก็จะก้าวไปสู่การเป็นภูมิภาคที่มีระบบสาธารณสุขที่มีความมั่นคงยั่งยืนเป็นธรรมเพื่อสุขภาพและความเป็นอยู่ที่ดีของทุกคนประเทศไทยพ ร้อมที่จะให้การสนับสนุนอย่างเต็มที่นะคะและเวทีนี้ก็เป็นเวทีในการสนับสนุนเพิ่มขีดความสามารถให้แก่สมาชิกรัฐสภาในการที่จะผลักดันวาระด้านสุขภาพและเสริมสร้างบทบาทที่มีความหมายในการที่จะเตรียมความพร้อมรับมือกับภัยคุกคามจากการแพร่ระบาดของโรคอุบัติใหม่ในประเทศและก็มีการกำหนดหนทางเบื้องหน้าให้สอดคล้องกับความต้องการในระดับท้องถิ่นด้วยนะคะขณะที่ในช่วงบ่ายของวันนี้ค่ะก็จะได้ไปศึกษาดูงานเรื่องการบริหารจัดการด้านสาธารณสุขเพื่อให้ทางคณะผู้แทนได้เห็นความสำเร็จในด้านของสาธารณสุขของประเทศไทยในการที่จะดูแลประชาชนในหลากหลายมิตินะคะทั้งการดูแลรักษาการป้องกันไปจนถึงการสร้างผู้ดูแลผู้ป่วยณศูนย์การแพทย์บึงยี่โถและระบบบริการทางการแพทย์แผนไทยและการแพทย์ทางเลือกของประเทศไทยที่กรมการแพทย์แผนไทยและการแพทย์ทางเลือกกระทรวงสาธารณสุขที่จังหวัดนนทบุรีนะคะก็เป็นทั้งหมดของการประชุมที่เกิดขึ้นนะคะการประชุมรัฐสภาภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกว่าด้วยความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพระดับโลกค่ะที่รัฐสภาไทยร่วมกับสหภาพรัฐสภาและองค์การอนามัยโลกจัดการประชุมขึ้นนะคะก็เสร็จสิ้นลงแล้วสำหรับพิธีปิดนะคะรัฐสภาไทยเป็นเจ้าภาพจัดการประชุมครั้งนี้เป็นโอกาสสำคัญที่ไทยได้แสดงถึงศักยภาพด้านสาธารณสุขไทยจากนี้บทบาทของรัฐสภาไทยจะยกระดับระบบสุขภาพที่มีประชาชนเป็นศูนย์กลางอย่างต่อเนื่องรวมถึงการเข้าถึงบริการด้านสุขภาพอย่างเป็นธรรมและเท่าเทียมกันเพื่อมุ่งสู่การเป็นศูนย์กลางด้านสุขภาพค่ะวันนี้หมดเวลาสำหรับการถ่ายทอดสดพิธีปิดการประชุมรัฐสภาภูมิภาคเอเชียแปซิฟิกว่าด้วยความมั่นคงด้านสุขภาพระดับโลกแล้วนะคะดิฉันอัญชิถาบุญพรวงศ์พร้อมกับทีมงานสถานีวิทยุกระจายเสียงและวิทยุโทรทัศน์รัฐสภาขอลาทุกท่านไปด้วยเวลาเพียงเท่านี้นะคะสวัสดีค่ะ